Hi, my name is Micah Roraff, and this is Life of Worship. Over the past few weeks, I've been going over who our God is, and we have to know that when He reveals Himself in His Word as something, it is not something that He suddenly grows out of or that He changes, suddenly becomes different. God is very consistent with who He is throughout Scriptures, and He's very consistent for who He is throughout our lives. Throughout all of history. And so it's just been really fun for me to go through these and really dive deep into who God is, because I've been able to just understand Him and who He is. And even though I've heard of all of these names before, just to really make them my own, and it really gives me a closer relationship with Him, and it helps me to trust Him more. And so my prayer for you is that the same happens for you, that the things that I say really trigger something inside of you that want you to go deeper, that take you deeper with the Lord in your relationship with Him and how you relate to Him. This week I'm going to be going through Jehovah Shalom. So in a world of anxiety and depression, where do we go? Where do we run to find peace for our fearful hearts, for our battle-weary minds, for our embittered souls? And there is one we can go to, one whose presence brings us a peace that passes all understanding. And the one that we draw near to is our God. And when you draw near to Him, He will draw near to you. And I think that's one thing that we have to remember in our busy American minds, is that we need to just take time to draw near to God. And that involves waiting, that involves giving Him some of our time, and He's worthy of our time. He is worthy of every breath. He is worthy of every thought. He is worthy of everything that we have. And so to take time to draw near to Him, it's better than carrying around anxiety. It's better than carrying around depression and all these things. Pressing into Him and pressing into our Jehovah Shalom, drawing near to Him is well worth our time. Shalom means peace. So Jehovah Shalom means Lord is peace. And I love how that is stated, that the Lord is peace. He just doesn't have peace that He gives to us. It's not like He has a piece of cake and He gives you a piece and then all of a sudden He's missing a piece of this cake. He is peace. And so when you draw near to Him and He gives of Himself, you are really partaking in the nature of God. You are partaking in His peace, and He is sharing that with you as He lives inside of you, as He surrounds you. The root of shalom is SH-L-M. And the general meaning behind this is completion and fulfillment, which allows us to enter into a state of wholeness and unity pertaining to our relationship with God. The more we know our God, His sovereignty, His power, His love for us, that He sees us, it gives us shalom. It gives us peace because our souls are confident in Him. We have peace through anything because we are assured in our hearts and minds whose we are and where our final destination will be. His presence gives us confidence through any storm, through any trial. And when you believe something or know something, nothing else matters. Belief, it helps a soldier. Belief in a cause helps a soldier to fight through a horrific battle. And knowing a baby is coming helps a mother to go through a painful birth. Knowing God, it gives us peace in any circumstance that we face. SH-L-M is shalom with no vowels. And when I was studying this, I realized that you can make a sound with the letters. Now, this is just in my own mind. I was just realizing this because it's not a Hebrew or Greek thing. It's an English thing. But when you just kind of just say the sound of the letters that are left, or the consonants that are left, it sounds like shh, lamb. Peace, be still, lamb. Find rest, lamb. I am holding you. I am leading you. I am sustaining you. Shh, peace, shalom. All throughout the Bible, we are mentioned as sheep. And so that's why that struck me so much. In Psalm 23, God's the good shepherd. He makes us His sheep. In Isaiah 53:6, all we like sheep have gone astray. And Ezekiel mentions sheep in regards to God's people a few times. And all throughout the Gospels, God calls us his sheep. He even spoke a parable of a good shepherd who left the 99 to find the one. And in Luke 12, Jesus talks about life's worries. He talks about life's anxieties. And in Luke 12:32, he says, "Fear not, little flock." In a sense, he is saying, "Shh, little flock, fear not, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." Jesus calls us his little flock. He says, "Do not worry. I am your peace. I know the end. Find your rest in me, even in the midst of life's terrible storms." This peace that he has, it gives us confidence. And this is not a rebuke. This is an invitation to come and rest. I'm a father, and if I yell at my daughters, if they're fussing or they're doing, they're feeling anxious about something, if I start yelling at them, it doesn't do them any good. But if I wrap them in my arms and I just hold them and just let them squirm, but just reassure them that I'm there for them and, just speak words of confidence, words of identity over them, it helps to calm them and it helps to bring a stillness into their hearts and into their minds. The that the Lord has over our lives is a quiet, gentle comfort that his presence brings to us. This peace also gives us confidence and strength to continue on. When Gideon was called to lead the Israelites against the Midianites, he was afraid to do it. And in Judges 6, Gideon answered the invitation to rest when facing the war. The Lord visited him, and he was terrified in that moment because he was seeing God. And God said, "Fear not." And in that moment, the Lord took that fear away from him and gave him the peace to not only be in God's presence, but he gave him the peace to go and fight the Midianites. So the Lord, in effect, was saying to Gideon, "I've got this. Don't worry. Peace be to you, Gideon." And like a parent holding their fussy child, God holds us and says, "Shh, it's okay. I've got you." Gideon had the revelation of God as Jehovah Shalom, and he calls him that in Judges 6. And because he had that revelation, he was able to fight the Midianites, like I said. And then God didn't just leave him there, but God showed him 3 more times in Judges, 3 more times that he was God, that he was all-powerful over everything, that he had that situation taken care of. And he showed him 3 more times that God was sovereign in order to enforce to Gideon that he was there and that he wasn't going to leave him, and that peace was still there. When fear comes, it overwhelms. When anxiety floods our minds, it debilitates our thinkings and our thinking and our actions. It's easy to see the wickedness around us and be overwhelmed. And so my challenge to us is to be like Asaph, the writer of Psalm 73. As you go through Psalm 73, you see that he puts a complaint before the Lord saying, I see the prosperity of the wicked, everything they put their hand to. It's successful, and they're just going around terrorizing people, and they're doing this and they're doing that, and it doesn't seem like it's ever going to end. And so what did Asaph do to find perspective, to find peace? He went into the sanctuary. He went into the house of the Lord. He went into the presence of the Lord. And the Lord let him see heaven's perspective, which is the Lord's perspective. The Lord's presence gave him peace. And he was able to see how the Lord's kingdom lasts forever. And the wicked, they are just a breath. And then they go away. So when life's trials and hardships hit us, it really hurts and it can be confusing. And our first reaction is just to be a brute beast, like Asaph said in Psalm 73, to be a brute beast before the Lord and to just complain and to argue and be like, God, why? And just to fuss, saying, and then even giving into despair or hopelessness. But even when we are a foolish lamb in those moments, God comes to us knowing our frame and knowing our struggles, and he gently opens his arms of strength and love and shalom and invites us into his peace. So hear him say, whatever you're going through right now, hear him say, it's okay, my precious child. I've got this. And allow him to give you his perspective. Come to God, our peace. Jesus is the Prince of Peace. And so we would literally, when you saw Jesus walking through the earth as you read the Gospels, you saw how the Prince of Peace, how Jehovah Shalom walk through the earth. Be assured of his control of the outcome, just as he was in control of the outcome of his whole life, how he went to the cross and how he went into the grave and came out of that grave. That outcome was assured, and he even said it was going to happen. So knowing that, it brings us peace for our lives, knowing that God will control the outcome of our lives. So trust in the Lord with all of your heart. This is where we find our peace, when we trust in the Lord with all of our heart. And then his shalom is able to come into us. And lean not on our own understandings. So when everything is chaotic and going crazy, lean not on your own understandings, but trust in him. And in all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. Our shalom, our peace, is found in his presence. A life of worship, where we give all of ourselves, and he gives all of himself. Isn't that awesome? Our God is bigger and stronger and wiser than anything or anyone. And that alone gives me confidence, and that gives me peace. Well, thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. God bless you.